Alrighty, race fans. It is time for the final race of the Nasser season here tonight for 2023. And along for the call with me again, we've got James. Glad to have him.
Hey, everybody.
And even more so fitting, it seems like James is, the drivers that he keeps his eye out on are those Kourting brothers. And Tom Kourting starting on the pole here today. Although he is mathematically eliminated from catching up to his brother Tom, he could potentially sweep out the end of the season in an unimaginable way of winning the last 3 races altogether. He's won the last 2, so all he's got to do is close it out tonight.
Yeah, well, like you said, he's mathematically out. Even if like you and I were discussing before we started the broadcast here, even if Atley and Tom Kourting were to wreck each other out at the start of this race and get 0 points on the day, and Tim was to go on and have a perfect day, he would still come up 2 points short.
Which is just crazy, being the winningest driver this season and no shot at the championship. So
yeah,
but
potential 8 wins on the season.
7
At the end here, seven wins on the season here at the end potentially.
It could be 8 with this one tonight. Who knows?
That's what I was saying. 8 with this one.
And so yeah, but then that takes us to who is still in the fight for the championship battle. We've got Atley Wiese still in the mix, and Tom Kourting, obviously our points leader. Along with those two, it's Andre Stefan that's your third title contender. But at the front, kind of towards mid-pack now, it looks like you and What Army and Gavin Legend mid-pack. Still haven't seen the 56 of Andre Stefan. Alex Portolan Wilson in a one-off, well, towards the end here, one of his last starts in the trucks for 2023. Hasn't been able to run with these guys during the chase very much. Getting a good opportunity here tonight. There we go. Andre Stefan starting about 25th on the field. So, going to be a lot for him to make up to get in contention for the championship battle here tonight. Cannon Gage there in the number 8 truck. Roach in the number 6. James Reddick. And then at the very back, you've got the 92 of Kyle Ottawa and the 65 of Asiel Escobar. And so 300 miles here tonight. It's for all the marbles.
Favors. Touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you...
The one we'll definitely want to keep our eyes on is Atley Wiese, our Cup champion. He still has a fighting chance here today to get the truck championship. Kind of dug himself a hole last night, didn't he, James?
Yeah, he definitely dug himself quite the hole coming into tonight's race after last night. Did he end up with 1 point or no points at all last night?
I think he ended up with 4. So very few points.
Which, based on the majority of the day we watched him have yesterday, 4 points is pretty good.
And so for him, he's 39 points out of it. And obviously he's got to beat Tom Kourting by 39 points. Right now he's doing good enough to get Andre Stefan, where Andre Stefan's only 2 points ahead of him. So running overall as they run right now, second in the points battle. Tom Kourting, of course, can't win the championship, but he could work his way up to as high as second. Atley, of course, keeping that out of the question right now as he runs second.
Looks like that top line really not working for anybody this early.
Tom Kourting stuck in the sucker hole there, getting dropped back. So, with the points as they are, Tom Kourting must finish better than 25th. No worse than 25th. He can keep this championship in his own ball court by getting a top 25 finish here today. And falls back there to 10th on the start, so kind of settling in here, seeing what the truck's got for him. 300 miles is a lot of racing here. We got a lead change with Trevor Walker going to the lead on Tim Kourting.
He's looking really quick early in this race here.
Did I get the 500 in this race?
I don't think you did.
My bad.
It's okay. Things happen.
I goofed.
We're not perfect.
I goofed. What was the problem is I had it as my my racing truck, my player truck. So I don't know if I actually. That was my bad.
I think that's what happened. I bet if you look, we're probably a car short.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil that. That was going to be kind of a fun announcement, I'm sure, for you and Tasha to get into the cup. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the whole. You could probably still give us some details on what's going on with the cup team.
It's all kind of been slowly being put together as the days have gone by. The last few days have gone by. No word on manufacturers yet. Although can confirm that Brian DeBlanc will be in one of the KBM Cup rides next year.
Nice.
Tasha Wright will be in one of the truck entries, one of the 4 truck entries for next year.
Nice.
And then the Kourting brothers haven't really decided what they're gonna do yet.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of it weighs on results here tonight. So, obviously, Tim Kourting running second here. Tom Kourting kind of working his way back in.
I feel like if they end up walking out here without a championship in hand after the season they've had, it might be a tough talk about Tim not coming back next year. Especially after the season that those two have had this year.
Gavin Legend, 20th, I think now up to 19th? No, okay, still up to 20th then. Andre Stefan up into the top 15 as he runs. There you go, Tom Kourting trying to attack on the 15 of you and What Army. We saw What Army put in a solid campaign this season for the Cup Championship. Coming up just short to Atley Wiese in the grand scheme of things. Chadwick making a move here. I'm sure Chadwick a little bit bummed that he ain't fighting for the championship here tonight, but still a great season of competition for the LFG Honda Ridgeline team. I feel like they really came alive at the right time to be in the talks, you know, to give them a fighting chance to win the championship. And then you got Trevor Walker at the front there that's kind of just like the Ross Chastain effect, that he's not racing for the championship and has been kind of dead, out of commission for fighting for it for probably the last 3 or 4 races. But showing that he still has what it takes to win, wants to put that truck in a position to win at least. Pit strategies are definitely going to come into factor on a 300-mile race like this. They might be good now, but just wait till the tires start falling off.
Well, and you got to think for Atley, he's looking to do something that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
He's our Cup champion, isn't he?
Yeah.
We've not had anybody grab more than one in a season yet.
No.
So Atley's in rarefied air if he can manage to sneak out of here with the truck championship.
And it just shows how hard it really is. The fact that he's got to fight from behind here tonight. A race like last night really did him in with the momentum, having the advantage rolling in to the last race. And doing what he must. He's going to have maybe a very, very similar concept here to what you and What Army was unable to pull off with the Cup Championship. Maybe the tables have slightly turned where now Atley has to try and fight that upward battle. However, his upward battle is a little bit easier than what Army had to deal with the other night. What Army had a 192-point deficit in the Cup Series and needed Atley to finish 34th or worse. Well, with bonus points and all these other things that started falling Atley's way, that turned into 35th. Rather, actually, it turned into 33rd, 32nd, or a top 30 would do it for him. So, Atley, on the other hand, 25th is the worst that Tom Kourting can finish to maintain that championship. That means 26th on back is fair game. Still all 42 trucks running here, 18 laps into the event. I know the Walker brothers have some things under their sleeve for silly season announcements. Doesn't sound like they're gonna go full on into Cup yet with their teams, but fortunately, Jordan Walker was able to secure a Cup ride for next season. Trevor Walker as well had his seat that stayed put, so he's going to be in the number 22 DRSM, Danny Ricciardo Motorsports, number 22. And then Jordan Walker will be racing for Thunder Buddies Racing, number 5, Honda.
I did just think of one more thing about the Kourting brothers stuff that we can't announce. We can't announce this for everybody. The Kourting brothers will be heading a new manufacturer across all 3 championships.
Interesting. So that means within trucks as well. That's cool. No, that
No word on who the manufacturer is yet.
But something that, that'll kind of get people's brain gears turning as to what could be a manufacturer that's new.
And the other bit of it I can release is Brian DeBlanc will not be running for the truck team, but his single car operation will be a satellite customer team.
Okay.
So he will also be running that new manufacturer that's coming in.
Nice. Nope, I think we've all got kind of a good appetizing course for what the silly season has provided us so far.
And like you and I were discussing before we got everything started. With ending this early and having our plan be starting early February, that gives us a good 3-month gap to kind of spend maybe a month at a time putting things together. Focus on one series at a time, putting things out and finalizing rosters and getting it all out.
True. Yeah, and I'm hoping to
It might
put
not be paint schemes done, but at least we can spend a month finalizing the entry lists and going from there.
right. No, I'm hoping to actually kind of polish my craft with streams and stuff. I'm hoping I'm going to try to figure out a way to incorporate music into the opening segment, stuff like that. I mean, stuff within my range. I'm not going to go full on like animations and whatnot. Those.
You know, what's funny about that? I was sitting at a red light earlier and I thought, it'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Cuz like for me when I was a kid, whenever I'd be playing with my little cars,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't start racing until after I like played the national anthem.
Right? No,
And even though it was just little old me by myself playing with my little cars, I'd still play the national anthem and then not start racing until after. So I was sitting at the red light thinking, it'd be pretty cool if we could find a way to sneak in the national anthem or something like that.
Right?
At the start of one of these.
I know there's a guitar version that I would love. I'm sure YouTube
I've
wouldn't
heard
let
the
me.
guitar version. I'm sure. Yeah, that was my worry. Was wondering if the national anthem was like copyrighted for some weird reason. Oh, looks like Tim's gonna lose 2 spots, potentially 3 from one of the Walker brothers there. Seems like he fell into that sucker hole that Tom fell into earlier.
No, I'm hoping to find as much tools and utilities that I can use at my disposal, knowing that YouTube's got a lot of tedious. Well, shouldn't even say tedious. It's just playing by the book. I don't want to have the account shut down because of one thing or another. So music is always the hardest to tackle because of their very strict rules and regulations on it. So it might be your standard elevator-esque rock music. At least there is some good rock music in their uncopyrighted books, but yeah, well, that's what I got. 3 months to work with. So Atley fighting.
And realistically, it's 4 because it's still fairly early in November here.
Right. Yep. We still get a early start to the off season mid November here. So
Did he just get in the wall there? Coming through the corner?
Might have got a Darlington stripe.
It looked like he got into the wall a little bit there. Oh yeah, he did.
Ooh, the 18. Yeah, it didn't give him a bump or anything. It just got really high, just barely tipped it there.
Yeah, it might look like he maybe tapped it with the rear end, but that was all it was.
Oh, Chadwick getting shuffled back now, too. Well, in the meantime, Trevor Walker back to the lead. Still in the lead, I guess. Not back. Atley still fighting to get that lead. There we go. Atley secures the lead now, and this will help. This makes it a little bit harder if we throw in those bonus points for a lead lap. As I mentioned, 39 points is the gap.
Atley's about to make sure he gets at least a few of those.
So this pushes the meter in the other direction, as Tom Kourting now can't finish any worse than 22nd with an Atley Wiese win.
Yeah, looks like Atley just wanted to lead that. Oh, that looked tight coming off the corner there. You know, Jacob, well, we've got this good green flag run. Now might be a time to check out the Nasser garage and see how far these guys can go on fuel. "73 laps.
I wonder if that
So-
song's copyrighted, the NASCAR, the anthem song.
I don't think it is, because I've never been dinged for it.
Huh. That's one I need to download then.
Oh man, Tim got back out front and just took off.
Holy cow.
Something came alive in that truck late in the in the midway through the run here.
How did that... Wow, he just gets underneath the 19 and bam, right through him. Wow.
He just takes off. I don't think he ever lifted coming into the corner there.
That 50 truck's found something. Playing a game of cat mouse, and Tim Kourting's the cat. The rest of the field is just the mice.
Fastest lap coming from Jordan Walker right now with a 28.709.
No, that lap, Scott Speed was a little bit quicker. Actually, both drivers behind him were quicker. Everyone was at the draft. I think the power of more trucks lined up together is eventually going to catch that 50 truck and overhaul him. But mad kudos to Tom Kourting here, holding his own in the top 5. So yeah, if we can, now we can draw conclusions here that pit stops will probably be about 70 laps into the run, give or take.
Well, we got to keep in mind that yesterday during yesterday's race, these guys were pitting like 30 laps early.
Right, they were short pitting, trying to get a little bit more advantage out of tires, and even with Darlington, I mean, tires are going to be a huge factor here.
But I do have a feeling that these guys won't be short pitting as early, just because of the fact that we've got 200 laps here.
Well, and if they can make it to lap 70,
you're gonna wanna drag that fuel out as far as you can to try to make this race as few pit stops as possible.
if they can somehow, and I don't think they will, but if they could somehow make it to 75, they could make it with 2 pit stops.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, they could.
It would be tight though. I mean, 73 is evidently the window. So we'll have close to that. I'm thinking it's going to be on the underside of 70. We'll probably see him coming in around lap 68. And that'll turn into a 3 pit stop race easily.
This one's done.
Dang, Tom Kourting now works his way up to 4th.
Oh, looks like Chaz is looking to change that.
Now, and that's gonna shuffle him backwards a little bit.
Looked like Ant Me Person got a little tight midway through the corner there. Because he started to pull up alongside him, and then
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The 90 is way off the pace. Okay, nothing wrong there. Nothing
No.
on.
No, I think you just got caught in that sucker hole. I think being up there is like we were saying earlier, a bit of a sucker hole. So, but if you're Tom Kourting, you're looking ahead, seeing that blue truck up there going. It's fine. It's fine. Just got to keep going. Because Atley's only 3 cars ahead of him. That's, you're still leaving here with the championship with that.
Then on the flip side, Atley knows it's like, I need to get up to the front and beat his brother.
I need to get back up there. Well, and I think that's why we see Tom so okay with just kind of falling back. Because it's like, I have a good truck. Why do I need to use everything up?
True. No, this could be...
Why use everything up right now?
One of the best things that Tom Kourting could do here today in helping his brother secure that championship is keeping the points out of Atley's pocket, basically. So if he can lead most laps, that'll take bonus points away that Atley could be securing. And looking so far to be in good favor of Tom Kourting to get that led most laps bonus points. So I just can't believe that someone that would have, well, potentially, obviously this race isn't over, but max points for 3 races in a row, and it was not enough to win them the championship. He failed to get the regular season championship, and did so with 5 wins in 11 races. And coming into this, he's won 2 of the last 3. And just going to have to see how it plays out here tonight.
I'm not... Does that come across the stream, Jacob, by the way? I just want to be sure.
It does. I hear the bing at least on your side.
Apologies. Sorry.
It's all good.
I picked bad time to ask Tasha to do chair maintenance. My armchair has been wobbly for like 2 months, and it's been driving me crazy.
Get the fix, though?
Sorta. We're trying to get the other little cover for the bolt off. It seems like when I put it on there, when I put it together, I seem to have put it on there just a little too in.
Gotcha. You would.
We got the top one off to tighten it, so it's not as wiggly now, but the bottom is still needing to be tightened.
Just get some Gorilla Glue. It'll fix it right up.
That's right. The NASA Racing Series, sponsored by Gorilla Glue.
Hey, shoot, don't say that. I don't have, I guess you have to mark it on your YouTube stream if you're endorsing. Yeah, they're not paying
really?
me.
You can have a joke?
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. I'm joking about the joke.
That's brutal. I didn't even think about that. I was like, is he right?
Well, technically, I think
so. I think technically yes, if you're actually like legitimately endorsing the product, but
they're not paying.
I don't think I've used Gorilla Glue enough to actually promote it like that.
Right. Hey, we need a Gorilla Glue sponsored race truck out there. It's one thing we don't have.
You know who that would be perfect for? The Kourting brothers.
Yeah? Kind of go in line with your Chipper Bandit and Gorilla Glue.
No,
Oh.
the duct tape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because duct tape.
Maybe that's the shtick next year for the Kourting brothers. They'll have 2 cars on the east with Gorilla Glue and duct tape, and then the other 2 will be a play on the Tim and Tom thing.
Yeah, things will get a little bit shticky. That was a bad pun. I should be punished for it.
Tasha says you're canceled.
Well, instead of that, I rewarded myself with a kettle chip. You wouldn't know it, but I'm actually munching on chips. With the mic, I just hit the mute button.
I was just about to say, I need to ask you, I need you to send me the link to your mic, because I didn't even hear you take stick a whole chip in your mouth.
Well, I've got this little button that I can just switch on and off, and whenever I take a chomp,
Do you use a 2-piece thing, or is it a one, headset mic?
It's all in one unit. And,
okay, so it's a headset.
Yeah, it's a headset, and it's got the little mic button that you can. It's instead of a push to talk, you have a slide to mute, basically. It's
I'd like to interrupt our conversation here to point out. Take a look at the top 4.
I'll one up. Yeah, look at the top 5.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure that. I couldn't quite make out the truck in the back there.
No, that's impressive.
Yeah, that top 5 there. The other 4 are going, hey, you know what? We can't win the championship? We're at least going to stink up the show here.
Yeah, Tom staying alive in the top 10, keeping from losing too many spots there.
Like I said, I think he's just kind of I think he's just riding. I think he's just kind of logging laps, staying as close to Atley as he can.
Big chill.
Not really worried about it.
Bristol always does, or Bristol, this ain't Bristol, this is Darlington, for crying out loud. Darlington always seems to have really fun racing to watch. Whether it be in a video game format or the real life racetrack, it almost races all the same. What's amazing tonight is we have not seen very many Darlington stripes acquired.
Well, and I think that's one of those things that during our time during the off season, maybe you and I start getting better at playing with some files, seeing if we can't get these guys just a little bit closer to that error point.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're more on the ragged edge.
I think that's what's going to be fun with the Bridge to Cup series with the Rallycross and all that stuff. It's going to be chaotic. Who knows, maybe even giving these trucks a shot on a rally course. That would be kind of cool too. Maybe a one-off event of sorts with the USA trucks, maybe.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool if we could put together something where maybe the championship, like we said, how there's going to be not really 5 different champions, but essentially 6 different champions.
True.
Where it's yeah, people are going to be crowned for being good at the certain different disciplines. But in reality, it's kind of like the it's kind of like the way the regular season champion works. Like, it's an exciting thing. You still won a championship. You still were the best out of everybody in whatever the situation was.
So with what you're mentioning there, we're going to kind of try to put together a track champion for each track style, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I said, for the schedule for the Bush Series, I'm planning to have a even amount of each discipline. That way we can crown a champion for those things, so to speak. And then at the end have one person be the true champion.
So, and maybe we don't call it championships per se. I know, like, for your short tracks, most of that's like a track championship.
Right, and then things like that, like I'm talking about, usually we call those, like, cups.
Or we could maybe come up with a title that makes sense. You know, regular season champion in the trucks is not a world champion, championship kind of deal. Maybe that's how we kind of discern is the overall championship at the end of the year might be the world title. While the others, we can consider them to be track titles or something. Work in progress, but I'm kind of leaning that direction and maybe giving it a proper, title, verbiage for the title,
Record books.
Yeah, maybe we
Kind of feel bad for Alan Malcolm here, who kept himself alive a little bit last night.
he's
But
running
it seems
40th. That's a rough run. Even
especially after the run he had yesterday.
At pace and everything, it's not like he's got damage on the truck. It's just not his day here. Pit stops.
Here we go.
Lap 65.
Is Tom up to 4th now or 3rd?
5th. Man, lap traffic's really going to be a factor here too. And one of the interesting things like this at Darlington, obviously super speedways, I'm going to be on top of DQing and kicking people out if they're holding up the leaders. But Darlington, they've got to use the brake pedal no matter what. So lap traffic's just going to be part of the race here today.
Well, it honestly doesn't look like it's been much of a hindrance for our 2 stars of the trucks here.
No. And it's often harder.
Those 2 just seem to be blazing their way through it.
It's often harder to super speedway to make the moves without, the discrepancy of speed. Yeah, these trucks are definitely slower than our leaders, but they're not a sitting roadblock, so it's a little bit easier to navigate for the most part. And you're seeing that, Tim Kourting with ease, just kind of picking them off one at a time. Nothing too big. Chad right there, Chadwick right behind him.
Sorry, Jacob, but my sister opened the door and they brought me food and the dogs came in here, so we had a little bit of kerfuffle.
Oh, no wonder.
For a second.
No worries. So they're going to actually push as far as they can here. It's about to reach lap 72. And
how many cars have these 2 managed to put a lap down already?
Up to 36. So 35 on the lead lap. See, I was saying
That's not a bad run for Chaz and Tim there.
No. No, as I was saying, though, they need to make to about lap 75 to feel comfortable. Even if they make it to lap, let's say, 73 times 3, that'll put them up to lap 219. So they got to go 74 laps. And if they hit 74, that's going to be every single pit stop they make will be a 74 lap run. And they won't have much, if any, fuel left for a green-white checkers at the end.
That's kind of the name of the game. Is you go for the circled number, and if you end up having not enough, Tim Kourting headed down pit road.
Wow.
Looks like Chaz is gonna stay out.
So this is close. I mean, still coming down on lap 73, turning to 74. Once they cross the pit road, it'll basically be lap 74. So this doesn't leave them for much room for error. I mean, I would have liked to be on the north side of that rather than the south side of this. We'll see if this race stays completely green the entire way. You might see pit stops on lap 220. The race might actually be decided on a pit road strategy call. Chadwick sitting pretty though. Able to stay out just one lap longer. Yep, everyone now down pit road, including your points leader, Tom Kourting. That, I think, might be our winning call.
When you probably saved a little bit of fuel by just kind of riding, whereas everybody else was pushing.
Yep, Chadwick coming back out. Looks like the 50 of Tim Kourting will regain the lead here. Atley up to second. And now it's a little bit different fight at the front of the field as you've got Tim Kourting and Atley Wiese now. Well, Tom Kourting gets shuffled a little bit further back here. Still sitting in ninth, so not too bad. 92 rejoining the track in a very vicarious position. What was the question about Trackmasters there, DeBlank? I don't know if we were talking about something.
And his suggestion for what we call the different champions for the different disciplines in the Busch series.
Okay. No, I kind of like that. I thought of the game. I think there's a game called Trackmaster, isn't there? Or
that sounds right, yeah. Dalton Hayes not doing team owner Tim Kourting any favors there.
Well, what's crazy is Trevor Walker with the lead right now. I didn't realize that until skimming around the field. He must have made an earlier pit. Oh, okay, so yeah, he's on the super short. He's going to have to pit within about 10 laps to the finish if he stays on that schedule. But looks like Superman right now until he isn't. Ooh, Atley getting by Tim Kourting for second place.
Could he also be planning for the fact that he just watched everybody else be able to go almost 75 laps?
Saving a little bit of fuel, maybe?
Yeah, pit a little bit shorter, get out ahead of everybody, and just ride. Save fuel, and keep the distance.
See, this is a crazy thing. These are just AI cars racing, and they're doing big brain moves that even we're not catching sometimes. And Tim Kourting settles back into 5th there. Atley in 2nd. Meanwhile, Tom Kourting has lost a big gap. It looks like he's actually fallen backwards. Actually fighting for position here with Scott Speed for 6th. But the distance, sorry about that. The distance back is gradually growing, it looks like. His laps right now are 29.4s. Compare that up to the likes of Tim Kourting with a 29.3, Atley with a 29.2, and Trevor Walker with a 29.3.
It's been a long green flag run. This race has been a really good race so far.
Totally. No, it's been giving us good racing. It's given us a little bit of strategy mixed in. No cautions yet. That's impressive at Darlington. It was kind of hard, the under-over on what we would get when we brought the East and West together, because you look at the West, it was heavy on wrecks and cautions. The East Coast, on the other hand, very rarely did we see any wrecks or cautions. So it seems like the East side kind of wins over, with obviously the strength of field combined. It seems like we're, less prone to wrecking here.
That has a lot to do with the fact that we have such a diverse strength of truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've got a good even split of trucks that are front runners, mid pack, back of the pack.
Yeah, and that's definitely why I wanted to
Even that front to back stretch is really not that bad. It's just because the only reason people were going to lap down this run was because it's Darlington, so it's a shorter track, and B, they went on a 75 lap green flag run.
Well, yeah, I think if you look at who's gone laps down, you can look and see that we have race winners that are going laps down here, which is, that's obviously a huge indicator of the talent. Jack Davis has a win. He's 1 lap down in 32nd. Alan Malcolm has not won yet, but he's, knocking on the door of finding victory lane here someday. David Bird's been at it for quite some time, and it seems like the flip of a coin kind of determines his race. He might have a truck with top 15 speed, or he might be like tonight where he's 1 lap down in 34th. Cannon Gage seems to struggle, but I mean, any given day, that 8 truck could be a contender for top 5s and top 10s. I'm not seeing near as many winners as I anticipated. John Brinker, a winner from our inaugural season. But yeah, it kind of goes to show you just how how impressive the field is. The ones that are a lap down, I mean, it's just a shame that you know, they've got to fight with the rest of the field for points every race. And Matthew Fastnot, he's been lights out this year, kind of a surprise factor. Once they combined up though to East and the West, he's kind of been held back from winning. And he's probably going to go lap down here soon because there's only 28 trucks left on the lead lap.
I was gonna say something. I can't remember what I was gonna say. I was doing that all night last night too.
Did it have anything to do with me skimming through the field? Any of the backfield runners?
No.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
Usually when I say it'll come back, it does come back.
Yeah, I know. It must have been. It really must not have been important at all.
So Atley, keeping it strong here, keeping Tom Kourting on his toes for the championship. Tom Kourting, man, running 6th on track, but he is 9 seconds out of the lead. So very kind of distant field here at Darlington. Atley closing the gap, though, to Trevor Walker. Well, it looks like Trevor finally got by the 74 truck, so now with some open air for a little bit, might actually start stretching that gap back out.
Looks like Tom Kourting back on the back bumper of Atley Wiese again, looking to try to get by him. Oh, and no, they just passed the 97. Sorry. But he was back on the bumper of Atley Wiese for a moment there.
Nope, part of me wants to see this race go completely caution-free because I think it all is going to come down to the last round of pit stops and where they fall. I don't know if Tim has actually saved a lap or two of fuel on his long run here. Our fuel window showed on the game at 73 laps, and these guys went 74 and 75. Here we go. It's bunching back up. As you can see, I think Atley might have the momentum. Not quite. Lap traffic really being critical here. And the 74 lap down truck of Andrew Moger takes a position there, and that really puts Trevor Walker in a bad position, giving Atley Wiese the lead. So Atley to the lead.
Like we were saying, it's not like these trucks going a lap down are necessarily slow.
Ooh, there we go. Another power move for the lead. Yeah, they're having troubles getting around them because they're kind of in the equal ballpark of each other.
Well, it seems like Moger just keeps trying to get by Jack Ross.
And we know how much of a menace that Jack Ross is to the rest of the field.
Yeah. What a fall from grace he had, though.
I know. He had a stellar first season in the trucks, and either the competition just got that much harder, or they fall behind on, possibly they just fallen behind on research and development for the team. Switch over to Subaru definitely makes it a little bit harder. That truck, that the truck manufacturer's switch has been a curse for some of these teams. There we go. There we go.
I got a feeling at this rate we might see a caution.
Yeah, it's kind of looking. We might even see our leaders get wrecked just fighting for the win.
That's where I thought the caution might come from. Because it seems like Atley isn't going to give an inch trying to get this championship. Bad battle for the lead.
Tim Kourting ain't letting him get by. Look at the outside line. Ooh, blown engine.
Back.
The fight at the front's too much. The 5 of Aunt Me person.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna bring out a caution.
I'll let the game decide. If the game decides, we'll get it. But otherwise, I'm gonna let it roll because there's.
You know that roll?
He blew up from 5th place, and let's see what it says. 50% mechanical failure on the engine. Yep, we'll let it.
Unfortunate to see, but he blew it up at a really good spot.
Got down to the apron as quickly as he could. Oh, there we go. Tim Kourting finally gets shuffled out. And then he's going to have to rebound here. And Moger is almost very much like Ryan Newman, not letting him get past him. Wow. At this point, I feel like it's more, on the pride department. You don't want to get passed by the leaders because you know that this is the last race of the season, and staying on the lead lap could be the difference between winning this race or ending up, losing a lap and finishing the race multiple laps down. You never know what could happen.
This thing could jeopardize everything.
Impressive from Trevor Walker, too, for showing up here tonight. Not many teams expected to see, one of the drivers knocked out of the championship, fighting this hard for the win here tonight. Let's see where Tom runs now. 61 got out of sorts there. Alrighty, so Tom Kourting running 5th, more than perfect to keep that championship under his belt.
It's not like he's that far back from the leaders. He's right there behind them. He's still in frame when the shot rolls around backwards.
Yeah, he's actually started to close the gap up a little bit. It was about 9 seconds, and it's kind of shrunk down to 8.2. Him and Kyler Sestre both within a decent range of catching back up, especially if the lap traffic gives our leaders any more trouble. We're at halfway as well. They're currently halfway through the race. So another probably hour of racing left to go here in our 2023 season. Man, it's looking to play out similar to our Cup Championship did with the one that was fighting from behind might possibly just come up short.
So, if you're Atley, and would you like to come out of here with the championship? Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't? But at the end of the day, you got to look at the season he's had, all across the board.
Right? No, I mean, it's been a stellar year. A lot to build off of. Obviously, it's going to help boost the jump into Cup full-time. Obviously, he was full-time this year, but full-time ownership, I guess, better way of explaining it. No, and it's an anomaly, just an anomaly for the 50 of Tom Kourting. I feel like there's got to be. I mean, maybe we need to come up with a Checkers or Wreckers award for Tom Kourting this year, because the points they're moderately favorable to winning races, but for whatever reason it was weighted against his process this year. It's not weighted enough in the right direction for wins, I guess, but it awards consistency. And I would rather a championship be, decided on consistency rather than wins. Sure, you could go out there and win 20 races out of a 40 race season. But let's say you wreck out in the other 20 races. Is that really a stellar year? I mean, obviously any driver can be fast and capable of winning, but is the driver, capable of, grinding it out on a day where they might not have the fastest truck, rather than
I think we have a good real life comparison to that, because I think we've entered that territory we entered last night, where these might be considered hot takes depending on who you ask.
Are you going to mention Kyle Larson?
No, I'm not going to mention Larson. I'm going to mention Kyle Busch.
Okay.
His first championship. He broke his leg at the start of the season. Didn't even run Daytona. Didn't start his season until like 2 weeks before Michigan.
And he basically missed half the season already at that point.
Yeah. NASCAR said, hey, you're like 50th in points. Tell you what, if you can manage to put together enough points to get yourself in the top 30, we'll let you in the chase.
And
look at the season Kyle Busch took off on.
Right.
And people want to argue and go, That's not a real championship. He missed half the season. No, yeah, look at the other half of the season, though.
Mm-hmm. See
He was consistent the whole season. If he wasn't winning, he was at least a top 5, top 10 car. Every week, every race.
No, that could, I mean, I feel like the current point system in NASCAR is it's out of control in the format of giving out the championship. There shouldn't be a reason to give 4 drivers a complete reset on points and then change the whole points format for that final race to where like lead laps don't count as points. Oh yeah, by the way, you're not racing for stage points anymore. It's only whoever finishes highest amongst, you 4.
Wait,
It,
I wish if they were going to do it that way, they would go, the last race of the season is not going to have stages.
right. And no one gets
Well, green
any
flag
advantage. Yeah.
Nobody gets the advantage of a caution. You got to execute all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Roll with the punches.
So, in a way, is a stellar year for Tim Kourting. He won a shitload of races, but his consistency was not there. I'm sure if I can pull up, I don't know if I've actually got a good format to look on the stats, but his bad races were obviously really bad.
I believe we discussed last night he was at half. He was basically half all season long. Where it was like, if he wasn't winning or finishing like second or third, he was finishing 43rd.
Well, and this right here, I think, shows it's just how stacked the field is. The actual regular season final standing, he was 3rd overall. Had 5 wins, 7 top 5s, and 7 top 10s. Well, other than those top 10s, he had 2 DNFs, which were probably, like you said, outside the top 35, basically. Had 6 poles. I mean, that's a record year. In such a short season, they don't get an opportunity to bounce back from the bad races, since it's only an 11 season regular championship. Those 11 races are even more crucial to not make a mistake. But
Well, and you got to think for him, he's probably thinking that Ricky Bobby thought.
if
It's
you're
such a short season. Why it doesn't feel like consistency should matter.
If you're
So
not
all
first,
we need
you're
to
last.
do is go out there and win. That's all we need to do. Whereas his brother Tom had to be consistent all season long.
Right. So yeah,
That has always been Tim's biggest struggle.
I mean,
He's not consistent.
that still just stands out to me as the anomaly. I mean, he had a great season. Championship caliber. Tom Kourting, if you look at
absolutely.
Tom's, he had 2 wins, 7 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Yet again, the magic number is your top 10s. In an 11 race season, Tom Kourting only finished outside the top 10 once. And that once was a DNF, which put him, outside the top 10 for 1 race this season. We go back to the East Coast. Andre Stefan, 11 races, 11 top 10s. So we award that consistency. Ant Me Person was second to Andre Stefan, and Ant Me Person legit had a fighting chance to win the regular season championship. Only 5 points out. He had 1 win, 8 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. So he was kind of leaning more in the top 5 category than the top 10s almost. Andre Stefan had 5 top 5s and 11 top 10s. So that kind of shows you that.
I got a feeling that this big pack of track is going to cost Tim and Atley some time.
So, yep, no, that was it. Tim Kourting really only had about 4 bad races, but an 11 race season, you can't even have more than one for the most part, because the other guys are just cranking out killer races. So the way they run right now, Tim Kourting would be able to work his way up to 3rd in the final point standings, right behind Atley Wiese, who would probably end up finishing 2nd in the title battle here.
You know, one thing we didn't consider is the fact that since Tim got here in the series, all it's been is win and get in, win and keep going, win and win the championship. So that's all he's done, is just go, all I need to do is win. That's all I need to do. And now that we're in a time where it's not just about the wins, you need to be consistent too. Now we see him struggling just a touch because he doesn't have that consistency. He has the speed to get the wins, just those bad races are few and far between compared to when you're just winning races all the time.
So it's kind of like the evolution of the USA trucks. As you can see, the premise or the basis that the truck series was built off of was that, that do or die mentality. We finally kind of hit the nail on the head with a point system that is a good mixture between everything you would want in a champion. And Tim Kourting, don't take anything away from him. He earned his championship earlier this year for the winter championship. He's still going to be your 2023 winter USA Trucks champ. And he earned that on his own virtue. Might have, got lucky on some of the elimination rounds, but through and through, he was still the best driver when it mattered the most. But now those eliminations don't exist, and it's on a full, this right here is a full 8 race run. And 8 races, we're testing out the consistency of who's the best when it comes down to an 8 race championship, rather than a 3, 3, 3, and then a 1 to figure out who's going to win the championship. But I don't think, like you said, Tim Kourting ain't too riled up about that. He just wants to get another win before he sets forth on his cup journey, and maybe trying to convert some of this truck success into cup success. Could you imagine if we ended up with the likes of You and What Army, Atley Wiese, and Tim Kourting, a 3-way battle for a cup championship some year? That would be impressive.
Well, I can't help but feel like Tim has been kind of a bust when it comes to the Cup Series this season.
Well,
he really didn't have that great of a season. It seemed like he was completely distracted by focusing on truck constantly.
True. Yep,
maybe that switch up will propel him forward.
Nope, it's going to be interesting to see once you change your... I mean, we've seen it before. Real life situation with Kyle Busch. He put way too much of his time into cherry picking, or bushwhacking as some people might say, where instead of racking up wins and accolades in the trucks and Busch, he could have probably been racking up more wins in the Cup Series, and he might even be, like a 3 or 4 time champion of the Cup Series. He is, a 2-time champion, so I mean, it's kind of converted over. But once you, get out of the lower classes it truly does open up your horizons for, bigger and better things in the top league. So it's going to be exciting. 2024 it's going to be kind of the off season is going to be exciting, but at the same time, I guess I'm lacking words. I forget the word, but almost can't wait for the next season,
Anticipation, my friend.
Yeah. Or
We're
impatient.
Yeah, we are impatiently waiting to get this next season, to get 2024 started for y'all.
And although tonight is the last race in the season, I do have some projects rolling around in the back of my brain that I might utilize to at least have some content on my channel during the winter, during the holidays. So
Well,
just
I was thinking.
Oh! No way!
Oh
Dude.
no!
See, that is
What happened?
That is the consistency we talk about.
Yeah, he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and
The lap truck, he just did not give much room. He had his
No.
foot on the gas pedal, and both of them connected into the wall there.
not a ton of damage to Tim's truck, but definitely did some damage.
Damn, what was I talking about before all that happened? Oh yeah, the excitement for next year
Are we on pit stops?
should be, I think, 75 to 180, or what's 75 plus 75? 150?
Yeah, 150. So we're right on the money. We're right here.
It'll be close though for.
It was a 72 to 75.
If Tim Kourting
Lap
goes
time.
74 like he did, it should be on lap 148.
Who is our leader now?
Atley Wiese.
And where's Tom?
Tom actually gained another spot up to 4th.
Oh, so he's not doing too bad either. He's keeping the distance.
Hey, we've seen a few more trucks now with the Darlington stripe.
Dial back to the 0 of... Yeah.
That's what I was saying. The Darlington stripe is struck. It looks like the number 0 with some side damage there.
No, it looks like they hit the wall pretty hard.
Ooh, Atley coming down pit way too early. That can't be on par with what they were planning. Nothing wrong with the truck, but he's pitting way early. 75 plus 73. Yeah, it's gonna be scary.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight.
He only went
But
70.
I have a feeling no matter what pit strategy you're on for this one, it's gonna get tight.
If he can do what he did his first run on 75 laps, he would make it to lap 220. So perhaps they know they can push it to 76. Maybe they've got something in their records that we don't. But
Quite possibly.
From 146 technically, he's gonna have to go 75 laps on this run. So we know he can make it 75.
Well, he's got open air right now. There's not a single car around him.
I think Tim probably makes his pit stop. Not yet. Okay. Huh.
You think he's trying to build that gap back up?
Well,
a little bit?
The table's kind of flipped here. Oofy.
92 in the wall.
The table actually flipped in the other direction because now they're they're kind of on equal playing field. I think the teams aren't showing what they got for fuel mileage. They're just kind of toying, teasing the field. Seems like.
Yeah, it seems really random because that was a long.
Well, he went 73 on his first, and he went 75 on this one.
What?
But now he can go 73, so he might have fresher tires for 2 laps. Is all it would really make it out to be.
I'm wondering if they didn't pack that truck completely full of fuel. Because he sat on pit road for a good second there.
Dude, how did Tom get up there? Is he not pitted yet?
No, I believe he's pitted. Yeah, he pit.
Oh, he did on 145. He's going to get up to the lead here, maybe. 6th.
Which puts Tim in 7th.
So Tim actually lost ground.
Well, let's give it a little time. Let's see how it all shakes out after pit stops here.
Okay, there's Atley. And there's Trevor Walker. Both of which have pitted, I assume. Yep, 142. Yeah, Trevor's going to have a hard time going 79 laps. That's a rare air right there.
Maybe they have the strategy. Who knows? He's definitely going to have a long run if he does manage to catch that back up.
Wow.
20 seconds.
The 50 truck must have got pretty hurt from that wall contact, because he ain't running.
I forgot about that. I bet that's why they stayed on pit road just a little bit longer, probably fixing the rest of that damage.
Yep, the lap times are comparable to Tom's, so 29.5 to a 29.4. Tim's still just a little bit faster. See, that's a crazy thing. That could happen to Tom on any given lap with a lap truck too. You'd hate to see it, especially with the championship on the line.
Well, and it could just as easily happen to Atley as well.
True, and he's racing through a lot more dense traffic right now.
Atley's got a lot of lap traffic right there. And they're not giving him an inch.
We're still caution free. It's been an impressive race here at Darlington. Only 2 retirements.
Looks like Atley moved the 96 up the track a little bit coming into the corner.
Yep, Atley ain't chilling for long. He wants to get as much position away from his competitors as possible. Now,
cars on the lead lap.
With only 14 cars left on the lead lap, that would could potentially make this championship conclude on lap 220. Since Tom Kourting could still get it done with the top 15, he would have the championship. Unless he fell a lap down as well, then it'd still basically be all the way to lap 221. But 1 laps down from 15th on back means that Tom Kourting racing to lap 220 right now.
Well, and you got to think with all of the laps that Tim led, I don't think Atley has a chance to get the most laps led.
Well, maybe. Because they'd split the lead back and forth pretty regularly before halfway. And
True.
Tim didn't get knocked out until just shortly after halfway. So it's going to be interesting. As long as Atley is able to lead all these laps at the end here. We
He
do know
might have a
that
shot at it.
Trevor Walker got a good chunk of lead laps as well. If that does happen, gotta reconfirm this. If the points tally gets any different, 39 obviously is the deficit. Atley is not going to be able to get the pole position, but he could get 6 points total for 51 points. So if we subtract 51 and 39, that means that Tom Kourting would have to get 12 points to win the championship. Top 20 then becomes your... Atley would win a tiebreaker, so Tom Kourting would have to finish 19th or better. 20th would be a deal breaker. Atley winning this race would be a tiebreaker enough to win the championship. So now top 20. Tom Kourting, it continues to kind of starts to lose more momentum as Atley continues to dominate tonight.
If I'm Atley, I don't know if I want to be where I'm at right now.
Right, but it's the last race of the season, and you might just have to put yourself in some risky... It's going to be
Risky situations.
Yeah, championship risky move. And I think we saw that a couple times as he was pushing through the traffic. Tried to get the 96 out of the way so that he could start building up a gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, Atley's just trying to plow through this traffic as fast as he can. But Kourting brothers slowly closing this gap.
Man, Chadwick could still be in the mix for things here tonight. 3.5 seconds back.
Like I said, I had a feeling that this lap traffic was gonna cost Atley some time. There we go. Still interested to see a caution come out soon. Sometime before the end of this race here.
We've got all the makings for one.
I'm just waiting for one person to try to take it 3 wide. There's the 6 car that Tim Kourting ran into the back of earlier.
They are now 36, 3 laps down it seems. Yep, 3 laps. Atley's about to have some clear track here for a change. That's a bold move on Atley to be racing this hard. Thing is, he kind of has to, because if you look at the back of this line, Chadwick's right there.
Yeah.
He's got
Has
to make
Chadwick
it.
already started cutting his way through this lap traffic? No, he's just getting to the back of it.
Just barely catching it, but if he wants to get caught up to Atley, he's going to have to pull off exactly what Atley did.
Well, and he's going to need better results than what... He's going to need better help than Atley had from these guys.
21 of Trevor Walker still kind of in the picture here. This lap traffic you would think would help the Kourting brothers start to catch up, but they're still about half the field back. Yeah, roughly at 14 seconds back in a 29 second lap, they're kind of half the field behind.
Yeah, but they've been cutting time off really, really fast.
Yeah, at least now Tim can help in another manner here and help, push and draft with his brother.
I don't know if they're going fast enough to catch back up or not, but who knows?
At least
At least
they can.
they got another. Looks like 50 laps to go.
At least they can
Ish.
just chill back here. I mean, there's no pressure. There's nothing saying that they're gonna get caught up in a wreck. This is
Right. Where they're at right now, they've got nothing to lose. Finishing 4th and 5th, that's not going to hurt them.
Yeah, it's like the true safety bubble right here. They're in the safety zone. Now the only thing...
I think that might be the name of the game too. Just try to do what we can to gain time, but we don't really need to be pushing.
Ooh, wow, the 21 and the 18 are actually blitzing through the traffic quickly. But where's Atley? 19. Holy cow. He's been passing lap traffic even harder. So that gap is now 5 seconds back to Chadwick, which was recently 3 seconds. Make that 6 seconds now to second and third.
What's the time back to the Kourting brothers there behind them?
Staying
Another
about
10.
the same, 13 and a half.
At this point, they're just in a safety bubble. If you get up the lap traffic, just take your time getting through it. Don't push. We're just trying to get to the end.
Wow, Atley has put everyone up to 11th a lap down, so 10 trucks left on the lead lap here.
What do you think, Jacob? Do we see Atley pull off the Tom Kourting on asphalt this time?
Well,
do you
you still have to catch the Kourting brothers, and they're no easy catch there in 4th and 5th.
Oh boy. 18 and 21 lost another second there. Ooh, Kourting brothers lost a little bit of time too. They must have caught the back of that lap traffic there.
It's just as quick to go forward as it is backwards. Oh, okay, they're still clear.
It must have got caught up by the 78 there.
Oh, yep. 30.5 and they're 29, so they blew by the 78.
He might have held them up just a touch, but not a ton.
Dude, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks separating him from the Kourting brothers.
Atley Wiese is on a mission. He says, I'm not going down without a fight.
Well, and even a caution wouldn't be a saving grace, unless that caution was for Tom Kourting getting in the wall and wrecking. 10 trucks on the lead lap. If Tom Kourting falls back to 10th, he's still the leader in the points, still wins the championship.
Atley is just cruising. According all four, the rest of the top 5 all lost time last lap.
Wow.
To Atley Wiese.
Chadwick now falls down to 7.2 seconds to the lead.
9.2 for the 21. Kourting brothers gained a little bit back that time.
Chris Harvey about to go a lap down here. He's just right there in the picture. Well, you got to give credit to Atley for the spirit and knowing, that he put in this much drive today just to try and get that championship. It's still, up in the air, but
Atley has put on one heck of a season. This whole year. Hats off to him and his crew.
Well, how fitting
they never quit. Not one bit.
How fitting would it be for both of our seasons to conclude with the same guy winning the finale? That's kind of different. You don't usually see that.
That's still a stat that Atley can hold.
Yeah. No, being the truck closer, the race winner at the last truck race, and the race winner at the last cup race this year. The only way that would be sweeter is if it was champion on that truck as well, because it's still possible.
It's still possible. There's still time for the Kourting brothers to have something go wrong.
The good part is for Tom, the fact that they're kind of laid up and taking it easy. It's not stressing that engine out any more than they have to.
Nope.
And Tim's there in case something does get out of hand. He can kind of play blocker or, play the defense role and help the 90 truck stay out of trouble,
Jack Harvey way off the pace off the corner there.
39 laps left to go here. Oh, pit stop. Did he have a failure of parts?
No, I'm wondering, we were worried about people making it. They may start pitting now, just to be sure. Just for that small little top off.
Wow, Andre Stefan still running 8th here today. That might be good enough to stay in 3rd in the points. Tim Kourting is only going to best him by 3 positions, so your top 3 could possibly be Tom Kourting, Atley Wiese, and Andre Stefan 1, 2, 3, with Tim Kourting working his way up to 4th the way they run. Ooh, this is where things get difficult. That lap traffic that the leaders had worked with recently are now. Well, shoot.
Tim's stuck behind it.
Tom could work his way up to 3rd here. Look he's caught up to the 21 of Trevor Walker.
Yeah, he's at the front of this pack, I think.
Chadwick, on the other hand, was able to get through this traffic, and he's catching back up to Atley. This is where Tim made his mistake last time, so hopefully Tom
doesn't make the same mistake.
Hopefully he heeds the warning of his brother Tim. Oh, there's the 6th truck. Wow. Playing nice so far. Ooh.
Back to the tail end of it for Tim there.
8 trucks left on the lead lap now. Only 8.
Looks like the 21 made his way back through and is starting to try to pull away from Tom there.
Wow, they were slowing up there. It almost felt like they were trying to slow up to a caution, but just lap traffic that much slower in front of him. Yeah, this is where the drivers that were short pitting are making their last round of pit stops. Our leaders, on the other hand, they're going to be pushing it, and hopefully they don't run out of gas, which I'm almost half tempted to turn on green-white checkers in case we get all hell breaking loose. Should I get the better cautions green-white checkered at least enabled? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say get an enabled just to be safe. Just to be safe. Oh no. Oh. It like froze the minute you hit the button.
Perfect. We're good. We're good. It does that when you're out of window.
Yeah, the screen froze like the second you click add green white checkers, and I was like, oh no. I was like, what terrible timing.
Well, I'm honestly I'm just fighting the clock until Windows decides to do updates to screw me out of NR 2003. They already put the
kibosh. Runs fine. It runs fine.
Luckily on Windows 10, yes. I hear it's a nightmare on 11. Oh?
I can attest to this. I have not personally had a problem.
You have Windows 11?
I had Windows 11 when I was running my series towards the end, and it ran fine. The only mod it goofed for some reason that I couldn't figure out how to fix it again was the IndyCar mod. But that's always been a bit of a mod for NR. Other than that, everything else ran perfectly fine. And I've downloaded it on my new PC Sense that does also have Windows 11. And it runs fairly fine. I mean, I have a little more weird game stopping issues than you have had lately, but I think we may have sorted that out with me putting it into Windows. I think I just need to run more tests with it. Because I could be asking too much of it.
Right. Nope, the 8 now down pit road.
Atley Wiese gonna just stay out and keep going. It's a 9th place car that Atley Wiese is looking at. There you go. You can see just at the edge of the screen when Tom exits the corners and the camera points down, you can see 21.
Yep, just barely. So, in case you've missed the race so far, there has been no cautions. We've went 196 green flag laps here. Make that 197. And it's been a show dominated by Tom Kourting and Atley Wiese. I do believe Atley Wiese is en route here to getting led most laps. However, the championship is not in Atley's hands because Tom Kourting.
21. Sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but there went the 21 there.
Yeah, it looks like Trevor Walker making a pit stop. Honestly, if Atley can run this all the way and Tom Kourting had to pit, then this could get interesting. What's weird, they're only going about 60 laps on this run. 55.
Here comes Tim.
145
Or Tom.
plus 55. He went 55 laps. This is the shortest run they've went all night. They went 75, 73, and now 55.
I'm wondering if everybody's short pitting just to be safe.
They know that they can't stretch it. Perhaps.
Or maybe they're all... Because here's our leader. There's Atley Wiese. Where's Chaz? What's Chaz doing?
Chaz stays out.
And what about Tim? Because Tim's also going to pass Atley Wiese in the pits.
And Tim's staying out.
Oh, 97 deciding to join the track a little late there, it feels like.
Yeah, so it must have been too close for comfort, and instead they wanted to have a long, a somewhat long run on fresh tires rather than pitting with 5 laps to go. I think it's actually probably a smart move on the AI to pit early rather than wait till 5 laps to go and truly make it a wild and crazy race. At least this way they have a shot to race for it to the finish.
Oh, and I think that's the idea for everybody.
Well,
you don't want to get caught out by surprise.
As soon as you're one competitor pits, that draws the deck for everyone else. Everyone else is like, oh shoot, they just pitted.
Well,
we need to pit.
At least for those people that are on the lead lap. Once one person on the lead lap goes, the rest of you have to start thinking about it. You have to start wondering, going, are we?
Right.
Are we good?
Even with, especially with the championship on the line the way it is, they don't want to run out of gas and risk giving their competitor any points.
A chance.
Chadwick, on the other hand, he doesn't give a hoot. He doesn't give a crap. He's going to fight this one until the very end, and maybe a caution comes his way, or perhaps he'll actually stretch it all the way to the finish. So, a fuel mileage race breaking out here.
Well, and if Atley stays out the whole race, and a caution, if Atley stays out and a caution comes out, everybody else is a lap down now.
Right.
Which, it may cause a problem if Chadwick is the one that wrecks out, by the way. The game, for some reason, just... Nope. The minute the leader wrecks out and everybody's a lap down, it just kind of snaps and goes, wait, what?
What's going on?
Yeah,
well,
and then it'll crash.
I feel like Tom Kourting might be pushing the envelope here too.
Yeah, I think he said, time to go.
We saw that he tried to stay out as late. See, these guys, they're playing the fuel mileage card. It's going to be impressive to see if it actually pays off. I don't think this was in... It would have been nice if it was maybe one of our title contenders that was able to pull it off here. I thought for sure Atley was going to attempt it, but it shows you just how much there is on the line. Why would you risk that? Why would you even go where you know you're going to be one lap short and you didn't
And
save it?
I was gonna say, isn't Chadwick a factor? But at this point in the race, no.
No, he was mathematically eliminated from
I
the title.
thought if he had that's right. If he had like a perfect race, he had a chance, but it was small.
Well, no, he was mathematically
Wasn't
eliminated. There was only 3 drivers coming
Wait,
into
was
the
Atley
night.
Wiese on the pits again?
Nope, he's right here.
Oh,
About to get his
somebody
lap
else.
back. No, but Chadwick was mathematically eliminated last night. He would have had to have come back for about a top 15 in the race yesterday, but failed to get a top 20, so
The restroom real quick, Jacob.
already. So 13 laps to go in the 2023 season. Now 11 laps to go. Chadwick is pushing this truck for everything that it's worth. He's going to try to run it till it's breathing on fumes. At this point, he probably really only has about 10 laps left of fuel in the truck. We'll see if he's able to have saved any, but those lap times are any indicator. He 31 seconds. Tom Kourting closing the gap. Tom Kourting down to 4.3 seconds. We'll have to keep an eye on that too and see if Tim's closing the gap at all. Tom Kourting down to 4:20, so not exceedingly quick, but still trying to catch up. Atley Wiese needed a win here tonight and some bad luck from Tom Kourting to get the championship. It's not looking like it was meant to be. Atley Wiese led most laps here tonight. Chadwick, it's going to be bittersweet knowing that he's out of the mix for the title. But ending the season on a high note would be sweet with a victory here tonight. Tom Kourting 8th, 1 lap down. That's more than enough to give him the championship unless he falters here at the end. We're racing to lap 219 for that championship because 2 laps down is 15th on back.
I've returned, Jacob.
Tom Kourting is not out of this yet.
I was listening. Yeah,
Right there.
just under 4 seconds.
Even getting,
Probably once they hit the line here.
if he gets pile drived by this line of trucks behind him, it's going to allow for the 50 to close up even more. Lap times are 31.2 for Chadwick. This time I think going to be even slower. 31.7. To think that
Oh,
Tim...
wow. Almost a second gained.
Chadwick is stretching this thing for every bit of gas it has. He's going to run out of gas coming to
He's
the
slowing
finish line.
way down coming into the corners.
Ooh, he's got to be coasting. Atley's going to be able to get his lap back here. They're going to go underneath. Tim Kourting now 3.75, but this is going to help Tim significantly with all these trucks passing Chadwick.
Yeah, Chadwick really struggling on speed. That truck's got to be just about tapped out.
It's crazy we haven't seen many races like this where it actually comes down to a fuel mileage number. 31.9. Keep that ticker open. 30. Oh, Tim lost some ground. So Tim's probably struggling with the exact same gremlins as Chadwick right now. He's fighting with lap traffic as well. It looks like he's trying to pass some of the lap traffic. He's going to have to follow the lap traffic to the front here. Insane turn of events, man.
Getting ready to come to 3 to go here.
And if ever we were to get a caution, it would be sometime like now.
It would be about now that the NR gods would bless us with some shenanigan caution.
Ooh, Tom fighting Tim. This keeps Tim out of a shot at winning it as Tom goes below Tim, putting him out in the gravel. Oh, did Chadwick pit? Did he pit? Chadwick had to pit. Chadwick had to pit. So Tim now takes the lead. And Tim's just...
he pit this turn? This lap?
This is in the... It's like, you know what? Forget about it. I'm going to either bring it home on the wrecker or run it out of gas, you know? I'm not going to pull down.
I think that's the call. Yeah, he's way slow.
Holy cow, man. 32 seconds. He could be the caution. He could end up causing a wreck here out of the lead if he ain't careful.
Doesn't have much to worry about. I mean, he's got a 10... Right there's...
Chadwick's now a lap down.
He's got a 15-second gap back to second.
No cautions. Holy cow. White flag waving in the air. In a very Tim Kourting-esque way. He has reclaimed the lead with 1 lap to go here. Forget about the lap times. All he's got to do is coast it around the track for 1 more lap.
Yeah, that truck is tapped out on fuel.
And he doesn't have to worry about anyone else catching him. 14, 15 seconds back to the next guy.
How slow is he going?
Tim pulls off the unbelievable here tonight.
Win number 8 on the season.
And he milked that truck for every little bit of drops. The gas, it was on fumes. That truck's gonna have to go into the Hall of Fame room for the Kourting brothers. That's a championship for Tom Kourting. He's gonna make it back to pit road with fuel to spare. See, that's what I was afraid that the Atley shouldn't have pitted. Atley needed to be a little bit more aggressive, but obviously even with a pit stop or not, Tom Kourting wasn't going to fall outside the top 15.
No. And that should propel Tim up to, what, like 3rd?
Yeah, it would be. Andre Stefan did not get into the top 10, so Tim Kourting might just have worked his way up to 3rd.
He's out of fuel.
Yeah, even Chadwick drove through him. And we thought that he was on the wrong call at first, but he
No.
made it work.
Win
Wow.
number 8 on the season for Tim. 9. Is this 9 or 10 for the Kourting brothers this season?
10 out of the 30 races. So 1/3 of the year won by a Kourting. 1/3 of the summer championship, at least.
And that's not count. Wow. Tim Kourting. Hats off to Tim Kourting. This was one hell of a year for him.
Right? And I think this
I don't see a reason why he would look back and go, I need one more. I need one more shot.
No,
You're still technically walking out of here with the championship, Tim.
The rest of the field can all breathe a sigh of relief that this might have been their last time that they had to fight against the man, the myth, the legend. This was the Kourting brothers' year here in trucks. Tom Kourting won the regular season and the overall championship at the end of the year. Got to give credit to Andre Stefan for just showing up, though, and putting on an unbelievable...
Fourth place against the top 10 that he had to deal with. That is nothing to be upset about. That's still one heck of a season for him.
And I think we're going to hear more from Andre Stefan in the next coming years, too. He's going to be high on the list of talent for next year. But holy cow. Wow. What a perfect way to end out the season. Now everyone's going to be confused because they thought Chadwick was going to win. Chadwick put it in. Got to at least
gotta give him credit. Because I don't think he stayed on pit road that long once he got there.
No, and he only fell a lap down because he had to pit and he had to get some gas. Just the time on pit road to get gas takes long enough. So, well, shoot, it's been a wonderful season, guys. I am excited for the off season and whatever else to come.
Heck, I think you and I are probably about to get started as soon as we get off here, aren't we?
I actually had dinner thrown at me, so I might have to go here in a matter of a couple minutes, actually. They're going to come grab me from the house and go to dinner. But how late are you going to be up?
I'll be up. The ladies went to karaoke.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be up.
After I get food in my tummy, I'll be back probably later this evening, and we can start brainstorming and getting stuff settled for next year. So, anything else you want to lead off or I guess close out with?
To close out the season, or actually, this will be closing out our year, Jacob.
I know.
It's been a long year.
2023 has come and gone. And now 2 full years under our belts.
Yeah. Wow. That just set in. That honestly just set in for me.
It kind of set in for me last night. It's like, wow, when I had to look back at something that was 2 years ago, I was like,
we've been doing this a minute.
Yeah. Almost 2 years ago at this point. Not quite 2 years ago. The OGs.
Jacob, yeah, I guess the one thing I want to say is I hope you don't mind. I hope this doesn't steal your thunder or anything. But to everybody that's not even just here watching the race tonight, but also like on the Discord and active and talking and spitballing ideas and having fun and role playing and stuff. Thank you.
You guys are what make it happen. So
I mean, you guys make this so much fun. We believe us. We know we're rough in the commentating area. We know. We're trying. We hope we keep getting better. We hope we keep getting better for you guys. But
The only way is up.
yeah, the only way is up. And thank you for another great, fantastic year.
And I'll leave off with I'm gonna try and up the game for 2024. I've got a lot on my plate, obviously, but I want to keep shoveling on more. And trust me, I can pull it off. I'm gonna be able to make it probably better next year than it was this year. So thank you for all your support. You guys are what make it happen, and I hope you're excited as we are for a new season to come rolling our way. Congratulations again to all of our champions here in 2023. I'm going to go ahead and list them all off right now so that everyone gets acknowledged. Tom Kourting being our Winter 2023 Truck Champion. Al Bunch being our 2023 Sylvania Busch Light Series champ. And then last two championships, we just celebrated the Truck the East-West Championship of Tom Kourting tonight with the overall championship, and most importantly, Atley Wiese, who was not even expected to be a full-time participant in Cup, comes out -2 races to his schedule and wins the Cup championship. Everyone else should be raring and ready to try and fight all those names that I mentioned there and try to take the championships away from them.
Ooh, one more note. Who were our West and East champions?
Yes, and obviously Tom Kourting ×2, as he was the West Coast regular season champ, and Andre Stefan, who kind of was the surprise this year, being one of our champs within our champ pool. So, thanks again, everyone. Hopefully,
It's been an amazing year.
y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. And this is James and Jake signing off for the night.
Thanks, y'all.